Hey everyone, it's Scott Hansen from NFL Red Zone reminding you to watch Sports Ballers, the podcast that gets you caught up on everything Washington sports and beyond.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Sports Ballers podcast. I'm Evan Ash, joined by the Hall of Famer Corey Puffett, and unfortunately not Eric Meyer this week. Eric is under the weather and on the mend. He said anyway that he would be tuning in live on YouTube, so that increases our YouTube viewership from 0 to 1. So there's that. Corey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm ready to start finally catching up on a little bit of my sleep. I finished the draft of the yearbook today. Sent it to my boss for approval, and once I get stuff back from him, I'll apply the edits and get it to the printer. But there's nothing really left for me to do on that front until then, which is a huge relief.
Oh, okay, good.
I actually took a nap today, and I was pretty groggy when I woke up, but much needed.
So you're going to sleep till Christmas 2024,
Something
so you can
like
catch
that.
up on your sleep.
That's 2 years away, Evan.
Yeah, you don't sleep at all. Like, what
that might catch me up, maybe.
Okay. Corey, did you put in the NBA topics?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Are you prepared to speak on those? Because I totally don't need to stall while writing some more notes.
Yeah. So, one of them is really just kind of interesting information that I came across this week. So, we all know that the NBA, I believe it's the Finals MVP, is named for Bill Russell, and the NBA has been kind of, I guess, rebrand. I don't know if rebranding is really the right word, but I guess we could say reimagining a lot of their awards. So redesigning, renaming, things of that nature. So they announced this week, I guess it was 5 different awards that are being renamed for various players in NBA history. The most recognizable, of course, would be the regular season MVP, is being named after Michael Jordan. But a lot of people will know Hakeem Olajuwon, a great defensive player, and so his name is going to be on the Defensive Player of the Year award. Wilt Chamberlain's name will be on the Rookie of the Year award. I think a lot of people will be familiar with the name John Havlicek, but probably a little bit less so than the other 3. He's going to get his name on the Sixth Man award. And then I couldn't tell you who George Mikan is. I know that I've heard the name before, but I have no idea who he played for or how good he was. But I imagine he must have been pretty bad at some point and gotten better, because his name is going to be on the Most Improved award. And then in addition, they created a new award called the Clutch Player of the Year, and that's going to be named for Jerry West. So the AFL did it first. Our Fantasy Football League last year renamed or put players' names on pretty much all of our awards. So I just wanted on record that we were ahead of the NBA on this. The other thing I want to talk about briefly from the NBA was Draymond Green, who essentially got a fan kicked out of the Warriors-Bucks game. The fan was heckling him. According to Draymond Green, made some comments that were threatening to his life. And he told a referee about it during a stoppage in play. The ref, I guess, got security from the venue to kick the fan out. Don't know what the result of that is going to be. I think the NBA, or at the very least, the venue is looking into the situation to determine whether additional action is warranted, whether the fan should be banned forever. But it was particularly interesting because Draymond Green got fined a few games before this incident for an altercation with a fan, where my understanding is that a fan was heckling him in that instance as well, and Draymond Green responded to the fan and kind of got into it with the fan, and Draymond Green wound up getting fined pretty significantly for that. I want to say it was like $55,000. I don't remember the exact number, but I remember thinking that seems like a lot. It was interesting because when I first saw this, I was like, man, people are going to, be on Draymond for, basically tattling on this fan. But, I hope that people will recognize the, I guess not the nuance is not really the word I'm looking for, but when you consider that he had just been fined for an altercation with a fan, where the fan was absolutely instigating things. Like, it's not like Draymond Green is looking for fans to try and have an argument with, or anything of that nature. And yet, even though he's the one who's responding to an instigator, he's the one who gets fined. So I have a lot of respect for him being able to keep control, because I agree with what he said after this last game. He essentially said the NBA fining players for situations like this really serves no other. It results in nothing more than, or nothing else than, fans feeling emboldened to heckle players. It can become almost a game for the fans where they decide, I'm going to go with the sole purpose of trying to get a response from this player and get him to be fined. Because nothing's going to happen to me. The NBA is going to wind up finding him, even though I'm the one who's starting all of this. So Draymond Green can be a lot sometimes, but I have a lot of respect for him over this.
What about all of the technical fouls? So, like last night, went for a run on my treadmill, and so I was eating dinner pretty late. My dad had the game on the TV, but I wasn't paying attention. But just sort of listening or eavesdropping. It was a technical foul like every couple minutes. So what happened with that?
I have no idea. I was not watching the game.
Oh, okay. Well, that's disappointing then.
You were like,
Yeah,
at least
I'm
in the
asking
room with
you.
the game on.
Yeah, I was asking you because, I totally don't need more time to stall. Does Eric say anything?
No, Eric is not saying anything, but we did have 3 viewers on the YouTube stream a moment ago, so
Okay.
I imagine he's at least checking in and out. He might only be watching, like he might just be coming in like every so often to check on when we're at the NFL part, because he mostly just needs to be on there to let us know who his team to eliminate is, because he is sandwiched between the two of us this week.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Eric
no
got
doubt
on the
I'm
on our group chat, so didn't want to say anything in the on YouTube. I guess he said the Warriors have been fed up with the officiating all year.
Okay.
Yeah. He also is upset that I don't know who George Mikan is, but whatever.
I've heard of George Mikan, but I don't know
I've
who
heard
he
the
is.
name. Couldn't
He's
tell
from
you
a long time ago.
who he played for, how good or bad he was.
Oh yeah. Let's switch to baseball, and just want to give y'all a quick rundown list of notable Orioles free agent signings so far this offseason.
I don't know how quick that's going to be.
Well, that's all of them. So
That was
Yeah.
quick.
yeah, very quick. Yeah. Just I keep getting all these alerts saying so and so has signed with not the Orioles
Yeah.
for a lot of money and a lot of years.
Yeah, whether it's the Red Sox or the Dodgers or the Guardians.
Yeah.
Everybody but the Orioles. And quite frankly, the Yankees. I mean, I don't know if Aaron Judge counts as a free agent.
Yes.
I guess he was.
You guess.
I mean,
he could have signed with the Giants.
That's true. He could have signed with the Giants or with the Padres. So I get, yeah, he was a free agent. But it doesn't feel the same when like he was just on the team.
Oh, okay. He only hit 62 home runs, but other than that, alrighty, we're gonna move on to the other topics. A serious topic: Brittany Griner this past week was released from a Russian prison. So in some sort of prisoner swap with some Russian criminal guy. So it seemed obvious to me that she was a political prisoner and not having committed a serious enough crime in Russia to be locked up for. She was sentenced for like 9 years or something. So very glad that she's back in the United States and back with her family, and hope she can heal from this trauma. Like, being locked up in a foreign hostile country is not an easy experience, to say the very least. So, yeah, that's what I got on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100% with you. And, not just hoping that she can recover from this trauma, but also her significant other. I mean, she was trying to talk to Brittany Griner throughout this ordeal, and I would imagine probably was not able to talk to her hardly at all, if at all. So definitely hoping for the best for them.
Okay. Let's see. In hockey, Alex Ovechkin scored a hat trick last night and now has 800 career goals. I'll admit I wasn't watching.
I was not watching either, but I found it funny because in our fantasy football league chat, Alex Mayo made a comment the other day about how Ovi was just a hat trick away from 800 goals, and then that's exactly how he reached precisely 800 goals was with a hat trick. So that was I found that pretty serendipitous.
Serendipitous. Okay. Let's see. We don't have anything for college basketball. College football, for some reason, the CFP matchups are still in here.
Because the CFP hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it's coming up on New Year's Eve this year, Saturday, December 31st. Georgia versus Ohio State in the Peach Bowl.
So you will be joining your sister as a huge Ohio State fan.
I'm a bigger Ohio State fan than her for this game.
Wow.
Okay.
There you go.
Like, come on, Buckeyes. Y'all have to win. I know it's a home game for the dogs and stuff, but y'all got to take care of business. And then number 2, Michigan against 3, TCU in the Fiesta Bowl. I believe the Fiesta Bowl, despite being further west, is earlier in the day.
That's strange.
It is strange. Yeah, I think that's weird. And then Caleb Williams won the Heisman Trophy this past Saturday. So congratulations to him. He is a DMV native like us, and but he went to our rival high school, Gonzaga, in D.C. somewhere. I don't know where their school is.
On I Street.
It's on I Street.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's congratulations to him. Unfortunately, they got walloped by Utah, and he's not going to the college football playoff.
There's a story, I don't know how accurate it is, that he really wanted to be at DeMatha, and the only reason he wound up going to Gonzaga was because he was told that he would not have an opportunity to compete for the starting job on DeMatha's varsity team as a freshman. So instead, he went to Gonzaga and started for them as a freshman and basically kicked our ass for the better part of his 4 years of high school.
Oh no. Well, if that's true, then that's a problem. So
Yep.
Whoopsie.
Yep.
Alrighty. So It is about to be college football bowl season,
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
wrote down that bowl week. Remember, they used to have bowl week?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
now from Friday, December 16th through Monday, January 9th is bowl week.
Now, I know that math is often not my strong suit, at least
Yeah.
not while we're on the air, but that seems like more than a week, Evan.
Yes, it's utterly ridiculous.
I'm
It's
doing
not-
that math correct, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's not called bowl week anymore, but I'd still call it bowl week because they were still saying bowl week when it was 2 weeks, and then it just kept getting longer and longer and longer. So the first bowl game is on Friday, and of course because it's bowl season, I got a little creative. So I don't know if Eric's paying attention or not, but Corey, you're on here. I got a little game for you to play.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
that time of year already?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, I like this. Okay, let's go.
So I have 7 bowl game names for you.
7. Oh, geez. There's no way I'm going to keep track of them all.
Yeah, so I'm going to, I guess, paste them in the chat
Oh, okay. That helps.
or in the document here.
Okay.
Um,
And how many of these are real bowls, and how many of them do I have to identify as being not real, fictional bowls, if you will, from the mind of our illustrious Evan Ash?
okay. Let's see. We've got 7 bowl games, and 6 of them are real.
Oh, wow.
One
6
is
of them
fake.
are real. A
Yes.
lot of these feel like they're not real.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's go down the list. We've got the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifle, the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl, the Southern California Edison Persistence Bowl, the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, and the ReliaQuest Bowl.
You know, I got to give it to you, Evan. You do have quite a creative mind, because I honestly don't know if I can identify which of these is fake. So I guess we'll run down this list again. So we got the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. I don't know why Cure would be in there, but I'm going to. That just seems a little bit too out there for it to have come from one of our minds. So I'm gonna say that one is real.
See, that one's real.
Yes.
Okay.
The Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I know that there is a bowl game being played at Fenway, as there is also one being played at Yankee Stadium. I don't know. Like, is wasabi even a brand? Like, I thought wasabi was a product that many different brands have like a version of. So I'm gonna put a pin in that one for a second. Maybe come back to that. Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifle. I'm just gonna say that one's real. One of the stupidest names I've ever seen, but real probably. The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. I'm going to guess that one is real. The Southern California Edison Persistence Bowl. That sounds like something that would come from your mind, Evan. The Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, I'm going to assume is real. Maybe a little bit bland, honestly, as far as bowl games go. Were there not as many good choices to select from this year? Or maybe you were trying to choose one that seems kind of obvious in order to throw me off. I'm going to guess that one is real. And
I'm not going to confirm.
and then the ReliaQuest Bowl. Never even heard of this company, but I'm going to guess that it's real. So, am I right in guessing that it's either B or E?
I'm not going to say
You're not going to say
anything.
until I actually pick.
You have to answer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I can see in our group chat, Eric has said he is picking E, the Southern California Edison Persistence Bowl. So just to double our chances of one of us being correct, I'm going to say the Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Okay. Well, one of you is right.
I'm guessing it was E. That would have been my first guess if Eric hadn't already picked it.
Yes, the answer is E, Southern California Edison Persistence Ball. I used a bowl game name generator I found online and hit refresh a couple of times and like, oh, that one sounds like it's something. Yeah, but Duluth Trading Cure Bowl is on Friday. UTSA versus Troy. We got the Wasabi Fenway Bowl is on Saturday, Cincinnati and Louisville. The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifel is Washington State and Fresno State. That's on Saturday as well. Let's see, the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. Where is that one? I've got to scroll way down.
I imagine it's in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's in Hawaii. Hawaii got a new football stadium, by the way.
They're not at Aloha Stadium?
Aloha Stadium is crumbling and is unfit to host events.
Oh, is that why they don't do the Pro Bowl there anymore?
I mean, it's one of the reasons, yeah.
Huh.
So like
that was a pretty decent stadium.
I guess, but when you build something out of steel and it's in a ocean setting, there's going to be a lot of rust. So it's been corroding and crumbling and falling apart. Let's see. Southern California Edison Persistence Bowl is fake. The Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl is at some point. That's way down here. December 30th at 4:30. And the ReliaQuest Bowl at Mississippi State and Illinois. That's at Raymond James Stadium.
In Tampa.
Yeah. January 2nd at noon. This is the former Outback Bowl.
Oh, okay.
But Outback Steakhouse doesn't have the name.
You didn't say who's playing in the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl on Christmas Eve.
Okay. Well, I got us. It's on Christmas Eve.
You said December 30th.
That's New Year's Eve.
Oh. Jeez, I was trying to be funny. I screwed it up.
Yeah, that's a fail out of you. Ohio versus Wyoming. So that's Ohio U Bobcats.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got that.
Eric says Wasabi is a tech company. So it is not named for the product that you can eat with sushi.
All right. And then one more quick one as well, because, I had too much. Well, I don't know. The Fiesta Bowl is coming up. It's between Michigan and TCU.
Yep.
So the Fiesta Bowl has had several sponsors.
Boy.
And I'm going to need you to name which one of these 6 companies has not sponsored the Fiesta Bowl in its name.
At least not yet.
Yeah. So everybody knows that it used to be the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. So that is not one of the choices on here. But to pick from this on this one, you've got Sunkist, IBM, Vizio, Progressive, Battle Frog, and Verbo.
Man, you didn't. That was smart of you not to include the obvious one. Everybody knows Tostitos has hosted it, has sponsored it, I should say. You aren't going to post them in the document?
I am going to do that right now.
Okay. I was about to say, I've already forgotten all of them. I can only remember Tostitos, the one that you didn't list.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to get copy and paste. And it takes a second for some reason. Maybe. Yeah. It's not responding.
Oh, no!
But, repeat those. I'll repeat them. Sunkist, IBM, Vizio, Progressive, Battle Frog, and Verbo.
Oh, you went too fast. Sunkist, IBM, Vizio, Progressive,
Battle Frog,
and
Verbo. Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
All of these are real companies.
Yes.
But
so Progressive definitely sponsored the Fiesta Bowl at one point. I'm pretty sure I remember both Vizio And Sunkissed. I've never heard of Battle Frog or Verbo. So if either of them posted, I would, or oh, there now it just showed up. So if one of them sponsored it, must have been more recent. I don't remember definitively whether IBM has sponsored it or not. I am going to go with IBM.
You think that one's not the real sponsor?
Yes.
Well, you're wrong again.
Oh.
The fake
for
one
two.
is Progressive.
Really?
Actually.
I could have.
Yeah.
What has Progressive sponsored then? Because I know they've.
I don't know. I know Allstate is the Sugar Bowl.
Yes.
So I'm sure Progressive's in there somewhere. I don't know. I just picked a company.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that. Man, the first one that I scratched from the list. I was so confident.
Just right off the bat.
I was so confident. They've definitely sponsored the Fiesta Bowl at some point.
Sunkissed Fiesta Bowl from 1986 to 1990. And then IBM from 93 to 95. Tostitos from 96 to 2014.
Yeah, they were the sponsor for a long time.
Yes. And then Vizio. Well, there are two Fiesta Bowls in 2014 because like one was in January and the other was the following December. So Vizio had the one in December of 2014, and then Battle Frog in January of 2016.
Didn't PlayStation do the Fiesta Bowl at one point too? Or is that someone else?
Yeah, PlayStation as well from 16 to 22.
Yep.
And this year, the Fiesta Bowl is the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. VRBO.
Okay.
So, it's musical chairs with the naming rights of the Fiesta Bowl. So next time it's a CFP Bowl or however that's going to work with 12 teams, it'll probably be called something else.
All right.
So, yeah, that's it for bowl season. I put this together just to underscore how stupid all of the bowl game names are. Okay. There should be like, I don't know, 10 bowl games maybe. Not, 30 or 40 or however many there are. So let's move to the NFL, unless I'm forgetting something else. Start with the Ravens, Hon, who won in Pittsburgh on Sunday, 16-14. Oh boy, so Lamar Jackson was injured, and then Tyler Huntley, the backup quarterback, had to leave with a concussion. And so the third quarterback was someone called Anthony Brown, who I have never heard of in my life. So the Ravens were able to hold on and win. They ran the ball really well, over 200 yards on the ground. J.K. Dobbins, 120 yards himself. He's coming back from relatively minor knee surgery. He had a scope or something. Every surgery is a major surgery if it's on me, but good to see him back on the field. He didn't look quite 100% himself, but good to see him back out there. The Steelers also had quarterback issues. Their starter, Kenny Pickett, was sacked and hit his head on the ground, and he had to leave with a concussion. And then we found out that the Steelers' backup quarterback is 100% that Mitch. So, he threw 3 interceptions. All 3 were in the red zone, maybe inside the 10-yard line. My dad is a Steelers fan, and to say he was apoplectic or, I don't know, livid or verklempt or whatever is the understatement of the century, because when Mitch threw the second interception right at the end of the first half to Patrick Queen, somebody upstairs was having a nuclear meltdown, apparently to the point that he was so upset and yelling so much that he almost made himself sick. So got to appreciate that passion, right? Like, if you are playing on a team, you want the fans of your team to be so unbelievably disgusted with you when you mess up, right? Like that means they really care. If they're like, well, whatever. Uh, Apathy is the opposite of love, right? Not hating. So we got that happened. I was very, very excited. Ravens moved to 9-4. Hold on by virtue of a tiebreaker to the AFC North Division lead. Ravens have won more games than they did last year. Lost 9 last year, so that's doing pretty good. Week 14 takeaways. Baker Mayfield was the thing that happened. So I went to sleep on this game. This was a Thursday game. Last Thursday, Raiders at Rams.
Yep.
So Baker Mayfield was acquired via waivers from the Panthers over to the Rams. I believe that was on Tuesday of last week.
It was.
There was a walkthrough practice for the Rams on Wednesday, right?
Yep.
And then Baker was the starting quarterback on Thursday.
Yes. That is the correct time. Well, actually, no. He was not the starting quarterback on Thursday. He came in after something like 3 snaps, I believe. I forget the name of the guy who had been starting after Matt Stafford got hurt. But I believe the general consensus is that Sean McVay started the other guy so that it would be his third start, because NFL players need 3 starts in 3 different seasons to qualify for the league's pension when they retire.
Oh, that's awesome.
So basically, got him that, and then brought in Baker Mayfield.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, get this guy paid big time. So yeah, Baker Mayfield. So I went to sleep. The game was 16-3, and I wake up and I see the Rams won 17-16. So Baker led a tremendous comeback against the Raiders, who think they're a good team for some reason. Apparently, the game-winning touchdown was on a 98-yard drive as time expired, or with 10 seconds left or something like that. So yeah, the Raiders are some garbage, very unsexy garbage. And their coach should be fired yesterday, to be honest. What did you think of this game, Corey? Particularly the end, since you more likely watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how the Raiders play that defense. On the last play of the game, they're playing press coverage, man defense, against a guy who just showed up in the last 2 days. I'm not a football player. I don't have experience playing football. But one thing I do understand is that when you are a quarterback facing zone defense, you are relying on your ability to see where the gaps in coverage are going to be and on timing with your receivers. Baker's been around long enough that he generally is going to have an idea of how to read a defense. He has not had a very good season this year with the Carolina Panthers when he was playing, but he knows how to read a zone defense. What he does not have at all after just 2 days is timing with his receivers. So he's going to have a hard time against a zone defense. Against a press coverage man defense, all you got to do is throw the ball up over top and give your receiver a chance to run under it. And that's all he did on that throw to Van Jefferson. I thought he missed the throw, honestly. I thought he put it out too far, but he wound up putting just enough air under it that Van Jefferson was able to get there. And he beat his man because Baker threw it out far enough in front that the defender was not going to be able to recover to get to the ball. It was a perfectly thrown ball. but it wasn't based on timing. So what the defense was thinking there, I haven't a clue. Couldn't tell you. But their defensive coordinator should be fired. We already know their head coach isn't going to be fired because they're too poor to pay him and hire somebody else because they're still paying the last guy.
They got the stadium for free. Like, where's all their money going?
Hell if I know, Evan. Hell if I know.
All right. We've got some unfortunate news. Kyler Murray suffered a torn ACL, I believe, in the third play of the game for the Cardinals on Monday night. It was a non-contact injury while he was trying to make a cut. He sort of put his leg in the ground and then just went down. So it was a really, really unfortunate scene. And, we wish Kyler a speedy recovery. And, this is a serious injury. Not only is he going to miss football games, but like this is an injury that affects your life as a whole. Like, you're going to be laid up in bed for weeks before you can even stand up. So, it's just really unfortunate, and hate to see anybody get injured, but hate to see anybody get severely injured as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely agreed. The timing also really sucks for him, just because at this point, ACL injuries typically take, in the past, we've seen most NFL players take at least 9 months to recover from an ACL tear. A lot have taken a full year. We've seen more and more players able to make it back after 9 months in recent years. Joe Burrow suffered his injury pretty late into his rookie year against Washington, and if I remember correctly, started the beginning of the following year, which was right about the 9-month mark. He was not really 100%, I don't think, but he was close enough that he was able to play. And I believe wasn't that going into last season, or was that the year before?
Burrow was a rookie in 2020, so is he going into last season?
So it was going into last season. I mean, wound up figuring it out enough along the way that they took him to the Super Bowl. So, Kyler Murray certainly can come back. But one thing to keep in mind also is that, Kyler Murray is a much more, I don't know, I would say a much more explosive runner than Joe Burrow is. Joe Burrow is a good runner. Like, he can run with the ball, does a good job when he's on the move. But you're not going to see Joe Burrow making like those agility moves that you see Kyler Murray make, and like quite frankly, he made on the play where he got hurt. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see those kinds of moves from Joe Burrow. So that's going to be one thing that the Cardinals are going to have to keep an eye on is A, how healthy his knee is at the beginning of next season, whether he's able to make those moves, and then B, if his knee is not able to handle that, can he control himself to not try and make those moves when he's not ready? So it's going to be a lot of things to manage with his recovery and with that decision on when to get him back into game action. But best of luck to him with the process. He's going to get a couple of additional opinions, and most likely he's going to need surgery, and he'll probably get that as soon as he can once they make that final decision to give himself the best chance to make it back on the field at the beginning of next year.
Yeah. And another thing that's unfortunate, the NFLPA is reviewing Devontae Parker's head injury from Monday night.
Yeah.
So it seems like the concussion spotter people messed up something, or the individual neurological consultant, or neurological consultant, who, by the way, the previous one got fired after the whole Tua Tagovailoa incident. Yeah.
So they got a new guy who should be well aware that his ass is like not in a very stable job right now. Like, he does not have job security. He's got to make the right calls. And apparently they completely missed a head hit to Devontae Parker that Nelson Aguilar had to basically scream at the official to stop play so they could get Devontae Parker off the field and evaluated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, head injuries are serious, right? And, the people who have been employed to spot them should be doing that. And if they missed it, then, somebody's got to be fired. Devontae Parker's on the Patriots now, not the Dolphins.
Yes.
So,
as is Nelson Aguilar. Aguilar was never with the Dolphins, but he's no longer on the Eagles or the Raiders.
Yes. Alrighty, on to fantasy. I guess more bad news, but fake bad news this time. I have been eliminated from the playoffs this past week. I did win. I beat Sean, who's like 10-2 or something.
You had the second highest score in the league.
Yeah. And I had it all set up. I was going to play Andrew. Has Andrew clinched last place yet?
No, he is currently tied with Eric with a 4-10 record.
Oh, okay. But the two of them have clinched last, tied last.
Well, no, because one could win and the other could lose.
Well, I mean, what I'm asking is, one of the two of them is going to be in last place.
Yes, one of the two of them will be in last place, because I think they're 2 games behind anybody else, and they've both locked themselves into the Snyder bracket.
Okay, yes. So the Snyder bracket is the 2-round consolation ladder, and whoever loses 2 in those finishes in officially last place and has to complete some sort of punishment that a very confusingly determined person will announce.
Yes.
So there's that. My vote is for to sit in a Waffle House for 24 hours. That would be my suggestion.
Well, we will see what happens. Right now, it's looking like Sean and I will be playing in the Pro Bowl, unless something pretty significant happens this last week. That's going to be how it shakes out. So one of us will win that game, and one of us will get to punish somebody for being bad at fake football.
Yes.
I will also, in addition to likely being in the Pro Bowl, I will be playing for the championship, trying to get my second league title.
Okay. Hopefully somebody who lives close by wins the belt, so I don't have to pay to mail it somewhere. I don't feel like doing that. Let's see. I forgot where we were. Yeah, so Corey's got the 1 seed. I am in the, middle tier, the top consolation ladder.
Yep. So you get to play for the first pick in the draft pick draft.
Yes, the first pick in the draft pick draft. I believe I won first pick in the draft pick draft before, and I picked the first pick first. So
I'd have to go back and look, but I think you did win one. I've won it twice. William Battle, I believe, has won it twice. And you may have won it once. And I didn't track it the first 2 years because at that point we didn't do a draft pick draft, so we were completely ignoring the consolation games.
Okay, so in a couple years we'll upgrade to a draft pick draft. And we will let our listeners know when that happens.
Yes. Eric reminded me in our chat, he traded a second-round pick to miss the playoffs. Or no, you did. I'm sorry. He's reminding us that you traded a second-round pick to miss the playoffs.
I choose to think of it as I traded away a second-round pick to miss the Sacco bracket. How about that? So my team was trending that way.
There you go. You missed the playoffs just in time for the Eagles to designate Dallas Goedert to return, by the way.
Oh, they designated him to return.
Yes, they did.
I was going to start him this week anyway.
Because he still might outscore
Mike. Just as many points as Mike Gesicki the past 2 weeks. Just a back-to-back bagel out of Gesicki. Oh, my goodness.
I learned last year, Gesicki if he does anything, he's going to do it early in the season because by the end of the season, for whatever reason, the Dolphins decide they like all the other tight ends better than him.
I mean, he did catch one pass, I think, on Sunday night against the Chargers, if that was even this week. And it was called back for holding or something. Or legal man downfield, right? Like, just taking points off the board. More onto the picks, if we must. Corey went 6-7, Eric 5-8, me 4-9.
Ooh,
yeah,
whew.
Another doozy.
Yeah, stinker.
So I was back at Charlestown this past Saturday night to collect some money, and my dad was with me and giving me a hard time for not betting on any of the games. This is why. Okay, when the casino owes you money, that's when you know it's time to go home. So. Yeah, I took money from the casino and didn't put any back. Unbelievable. Y'all have got to be kidding me. Just brutal against the spread. Congratulations to Andrew Perez on winning this week's fan contest. He got 5 picks right, and I initially read this and thought, man, 5, that's not very much. And then I see the line below it, I got 4.
Yeah, he beat you. Tied Eric.
Yeah,
Didn't beat me.
There's that. James Daly leads the fan contest with 92. Got Andrew 88 and Sean 87. Between the three of us on here, Corey's got 104. Eric is 98 and I have 97. So it has been brutal for me the last few weeks. The lone wolf picks. Corey was alone picking the Texans to cover the 16.5 against Dallas.
I don't know what y'all were thinking. That's a lot of points.
I don't know what what were the Cowboys doing?
Being bad at football.
They're supposed to be a good team. Yeah, that was awful. And Corey also was alone picking the Lions to cover the 2.5. They were favored by 2.5 against Minnesota. That should have been a layup. And somehow it was not. And then Corey was also alone picking the Jaguars to cover the 4 against Tennessee. The Jaguars rolled the Titans despite being 4-point underdogs.
They sure did. Big games by Trevor Lawrence and Evan Ingram.
Yes. Evan Ingram out of cold storage.
Yes.
He's been in cold storage for 8 years. Good. About time he finally did something.
Yeah.
On the football field. Corey also failed on 2 lone wolf picks, and I failed on 1. So Corey, I want to have you read all the teams that you've eliminated and explain how this game works while I try to figure out who I'm eliminating with 3 teams I can pick from.
Jeez. Well, I actually still have not picked who I am eliminating today. That's bad on my part considering
You've been on the clock.
I know. I've been on the clock. I have the first pick, and I still have not selected one, although I think I know who I'm going with. All right. So I get the first pick this week because I won our picks contest in week 14. I have eliminated, in order since week 1, the New York Giants, Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons, the Washington Commanders, the Houston Texans, the Detroit Lions, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Cleveland Browns, the Chicago Bears, the Indianapolis Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Arizona Cardinals, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Denver Broncos. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AFC teams. Everybody else is on the NFC side, so I can eliminate one more NFC team before I basically completely give up on getting all of them right. And I also have a couple of AFC teams that I'll need to eliminate, or actually 3 of them over the course of these last 3 weeks of the season. So this is kind of a tough one for me because there's a pretty obvious choice, but that obvious choice has already been eliminated by both of you guys. and would also constitute my ninth NFC team. And I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to do that, although maybe it makes sense just to go ahead and pull that plug.
You think the Saints?
Yeah, I'm thinking the Saints on the NFC side.
Okay.
But on the AFC side, honestly, like the obvious choices for me would also be teams that have already been eliminated by both of you. And really, actually, I think there's only one of them who I have not eliminated yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with the AFC side, just to go ahead and have done with it and save my NFC side for a little bit longer. I'm going to eliminate the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are currently 5-8, but really looking dead in the water. I mean, they're 4 games back in the AFC North, 4 games back of second place in the AFC North. A lot of teams ahead of them that they'd have to climb past. And while they don't have a particularly difficult schedule the rest of the way, they just let an easy one, quite frankly, slip by in the form of the Baltimore Ravens and their 61-year-old incumbent, Attorney General of Maryland, Anthony Brown, at quarterback. I know it's not the same Anthony Brown, but still.
It's also not the same
Lord.
Anthony Brown who used to play for the Cowboys as a defensive back. And he used to work with an Anthony Brown as well. It's not him either.
So I'm eliminating the Pittsburgh Steelers, which means that we have now all eliminated the Steelers. Eric, who is on a bit of a delay because he is listening in, but I'll go ahead and read off his teams while he lets us know who he's going to eliminate now that he knows that he basically has his pick of anybody he wants, because I didn't make it hard on him. He has eliminated the Seattle Seahawks, the Atlanta Falcons, the Chicago Bears, the New York Jets, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Denver Broncos, the Carolina Panthers, the Detroit Lions, the Houston Texans, the New Orleans Saints, the Cleveland Browns, the Green Bay Packers, and the Los Angeles Rams. So we'll see who Eric is eliminating. I think he's in the chat. So who you got, Eric? While we wait and see just how much of a delay we are on. Indianapolis. He is eliminating the Colts.
Okay.
Indianapolis is also a team that both of us had eliminated. So, yeah. That brings us to you, Evan. You have eliminated. I'm going to see if I can do this in one breath. The Houston Texans, the New York Jets, the Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons, the Washington Commanders, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Detroit Lions, the Denver Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Green Bay Packers, the Los Angeles Rams, the Chicago Bears, the Indianapolis Colts, and the New Orleans Saints. Whew.
Alrighty. Okay. I will say I was initially leaning Browns, because they're 5-8 as well as the Steelers. But I don't want to have bad vibes. Or the Ravens are playing the Browns this week on Saturday, no less. So I am going to flip over to the NFC side. And we talked about Kyler Murray's injury already. I'm going to eliminate the Arizona Cardinals. Y'all haven't eliminated them.
I have.
Oh, Corey has.
I eliminated them 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I was done with Cliff.
Yeah, well, they're definitely toast now after Kyler's unfortunate injury. And they're playing like crap with Kyler anyway. So it's not, this definitely isn't a Ewing theory thing. Right? It's definitely not that.
No, Colt McCoy
afloat.
is a serviceable backup quarterback. Might even be a sort of serviceable starter for a couple of teams out there, but no, he ain't it. He's like 35 now too, so way less athletic even than he was when he came into the league. Way less athletic than he was when he was with Washington. So, yeah.
If I'm counting correctly, I think I've eliminated 9 NFC teams.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, you have hit the number. You're gonna have to go all AFC the rest of the way if you don't want to give up on somebody.
Yeah. So the Giants are gonna have to make the playoffs, and Washington's gonna have to miss. because those are the only ones I have.
Well, they play this week.
Yeah. Well, Seattle's got to get in there too then.
Yeah.
I've eliminated Seattle. No,
you have not eliminated Seattle. Eric is the only one who. So you have not eliminated anybody this season where you're the only person who has eliminated them.
Okay.
Eric is the only one who has eliminated Seattle so far. I am the only one who has eliminated the Giants and the Jaguars. Neither of you guys have eliminated the Jaguars yet. And until this week, I was the only one who had eliminated the Cardinals. But you just eliminated them. So I'm on the hook for 2 teams currently that neither of you are on the hook for. Eric is on the hook for 1 that neither of us are on the hook for. And you're still good on that front.
I am incredibly confused because I've eliminated 9 NFC teams. Which 2 are in playoff position that I don't see? So I've eliminated 9 and 7 make the playoffs, right?
Right. So you've eliminated 9 out of 16, which leaves the 7 playoff teams.
So, okay. Seattle's not currently in the playoffs. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Okay, so my next 3 will all have to be AFC teams. So, Jacksonville, y'all are next. Let's see. The best and worst of Week 14 per Football Outsiders quick reads. The best quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, and the worst, Derek Carr. Losing to the Rams without Aaron Donald will do that.
Yes, it will.
The best running back by total was Jerick McKinnon. The best running back by rushing only was J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins, who didn't look like he could cut at all. Like he looked like he was running on replacement knees.
Okay. I thought it looked like he was running but could only bend one knee.
That would also be an accurate assessment.
Yeah. And the worst running back by total and rushing only was Dalvin Cook.
He has been pretty...
It's the Lions. The Lions can't play any defense.
They've been playing better defense recently. But Dalvin Cook has been pretty disappointing pretty much all year. Like, he's had a couple of decent fantasy games, but he's been very inconsistent. Rashonda wanted to trade him from her fantasy team in, week 4, and I told her, you can't do that. She wanted to cut him after week 5. I was like, you definitely can't do that. But honestly, she might have done better to cut if she had cut him. Good Lord.
Yeah. And the best pass catcher this week was Justin Jefferson, despite going against the Lions defense, who's, again, terrible. And the worst pass catcher was someone named Brandon Johnson. I'm going to vote that name is fake on this list of names here.
No, so Brandon Johnson, I have to pull it back up because I forgot to list the team that he was on and stuff because I also did not recognize that name. Brandon Johnson plays for the Denver Broncos. He had no receptions on 4 targets, so he had a total DYAR of -33. Football Outsiders blurb says, an undrafted free agent out of UCF, Johnson came into this game with 3 career catches for 12 yards. He still has 3 career catches for 12 yards.
I mean, were they dropped passes? What made him the worst? What if Russ just chucked it over his head?
I don't know, but I guess having 4 targets and no catches against a fairly porous Chiefs secondary will do it to you.
Okay. Alrighty. We're only an hour in, and we're on to the picks. So
yeah, we can blame Eric for all of our long episodes, apparently.
I mean, if there's fewer people talking, then that's usually how that works. Thursday Night Football, 49ers -3.5 at Seattle Seahawks. If I can remember where I wrote stuff down, I will lead us off. I've got the Niners minus the points. The Niners run defense is not just run defense, but defense in general is tremendous. And the Seahawks couldn't stop the run against the Panthers this past week. They couldn't get off the field. So you mean to tell me Christian McCaffrey who's on the 49ers and not the Panthers, is going to be stopped by this Seattle defense. That's not going to happen. Niners roll -3.5, not nearly enough points.
So I don't know if Eric is going to jump in with his picks on here or not, but I'm taking the Seahawks to cover this spread because while I completely agree with your assessment that the Seahawks are not going to be able to slow down Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers run game, we have to keep in mind that Deebo Samuel is out this week. He's going to miss at least a game, and I think that, if I remember correctly, Kyle Shanahan said that he expects him to miss 3-ish games. So he's going to be out for this week, which is going to significantly hamper their run game because they don't want to run Christian McCaffrey into a cliff. Like we saw that when they were probably, quite frankly, overusing Elijah Mitchell just a few weeks ago. And really using him in lieu of Christian McCaffrey in a lot of ways. So they're going to try and throw the ball, and I do still have some concerns about Brock Purdy. He played well this past week. I think that he is pretty good. But Seattle's offense has been able to put up points this season. Geno Smith has done a good job. I don't see any reason why the Seahawks can't keep this close. 3.5 with that hook. I'm going to take Seattle to still probably lose this game, but not by more than 3. So
the 49ers just got done pounding the greatest quarterback of all time. You mean to tell me they can't stifle Geno Smith?
The greatest quarterback of all time is not playing very well this season. I don't care what I don't care if you try and go Skip Bayless on me this week. He's not playing very well this season.
Okay. So, he's still better than Geno Smith.
This year? Please. Geno Smith has outplayed Tom Brady this year.
I mean, maybe
it hasn't. It's not close.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. So, if you say so, I guess.
Eric did jump in there. He's taking the 49ers.
Oh,
and
yeah,
yes,
Eric's
I know the Purdy pun sucked. I wasn't. It's been.
I didn't even hear
It's
it.
not even that it sucked. It's just that it's been overused all week. Everybody's using it. I said.
What did you say?
I said he's been pretty good.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Yeah, it was bad. Speaking of bad, the Indianapolis Colts are at the fraudulent Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings are favored by 4.
The Vikings have a -1 point differential on the season.
Yeah. With that said, give me Minnesota. The Colts are most certainly garbage, and they're not frauds at doing that. And Minnesota's at home, so give me Minnesota.
Yeah, last week I picked Detroit against Minnesota, despite the fact that Minnesota was the underdog, because Detroit they're a good team. They're frisky. They're not a great team, but
they're well coached.
In my opinion, they're better coached than the Vikings are. And they are just as good of a team, in my opinion, as the Vikings are, as fraudulent as the Vikings are, and as underperforming as the Lions were for pretty much the entire middle part of the season. But the Lions have been hot, and so I took them. The Colts have been not, so I'm not going to take them. Give me the Vikings.
And I guess we just wait on Eric's pick.
Well,
something.
Yeah, he'll put
it'll
it
fill in at some point here.
Yeah.
Maybe he's getting some rest.
Everybody can keep an eye on. He's taking the Vikings. Everybody can keep an eye on our blog after the podcast. We'll get all of our picks up there. So if we don't announce one of his, it'll be there. But he's taking the Vikings. So clean sweep there.
Alrighty. Saturday at 4:30. Ravens at Browns. Browns by 2.5. I'm taking Cleveland because once again, if your starting quarterback's not playing, you're screwed. Simple as that. That's really.
Yeah. I'm curious to know what the situation is going to be with Tyler Huntley.
He practiced. I got an alert. He practiced today, I believe, in full. If I
really, so that would indicate that he is cleared in the concussion protocol.
Full participant in practice Wednesday. 3 hours ago.
That potentially makes things a little bit more interesting. However, the Browns being at home, the Browns having Nick Chubb, and a third week of Deshaun Watson getting some reps in with his teammates. I don't like this because I said that I wasn't going to. Eric's the Cleveland starter isn't playing either. I guess that's technically true. I think last week I said I wasn't going to pick the Browns on principle. I'm going to stick to that and take the Ravens. And it looks like Eric is doing the same thing. Ravens, hon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the lonely island against my team.
Yes, you are. I
Wonderful.
I can't bring myself to do it. And, if Tyler Huntley wasn't playing, I might consider going against that just to protect my lead. But I've got enough of a lead that I can give up one for my conscience. And with Tyler Huntley likely playing, I actually think the Ravens have a chance to cover that spread.
Okay. Saturday night, Dolphins at Bills. Bills are favored by 7.5 points.
Disrespect, man. The disrespect.
Yes. I got the Bills being disrespected.
What?
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
What?
Yes, indeed.
What?
Bills at home in the freezing cold.
I know it's in Buffalo.
Florida.
I know it's going to be cold, but come on.
Did you see the Dolphins play against the Chargers this past week? They couldn't do anything. The only time they scored was when Jeff Wilson fumbled and Tyreek Hill picked it up and just ran by everybody.
You're giving me 7.5 points. I'm taking the Dolphins. Slam dunk.
I guess we'll move on to Sunday. The Falcons at the Saints. Eric puts his pick in or
doesn't.
Whatever. Saints favored by 4. I've got the Falcons just because I'm just so out on the Saints. They don't impress me at all. The Falcons are starting Desmond Ridder, I believe, because Marcus Mariota, he throws interceptions when he's standing up. He threw another one while he was sitting on his butt facing his own goal line and then flipped it over his shoulder, sight unseen. That was a thing that happened. But Mariota's not starting, so give me the Falcons. And this division is weird, right? Like, despite some teams being terrible and some teams being good in other years, the games are close anyway. The Saints swept the Super Bowl championship-bound Buccaneers in the regular season in a pair of games that weren't close. So, Falcons keep it close.
Give me the Falcons as well. Everything that you said, I agree with. No Mariota, I think, is a good thing for the Falcons. They're probably going to lean on the run game, keep this pretty low scoring. I think that's going to impact the Saints' ability to pull away, considering the Saints already can't really pull away from teams. So give me the Falcons. Looks like Eric is taking the Falcons. He's also taking the Bills. He said the Bills are going to roll. Tua ain't got it in the cold.
Oh, boy. Looking at the weather for Saturday, December 17th in Buffalo. High temperature 32, snow likely 63%.
And this is
winds,
at 8:15 p.m., by the way.
Winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, 1 to 3 inches. Saturday night, snow in the evening will transition to snow showers. Low 21 degrees, winds 10 to 15, snowfall around 1 inch. So good luck to the team from Florida with their quarterback from Hawaii. That's good luck to them in again 21 degree Buffalo with wind. Bills roll. We already talked about the Falcons. Oh, we all picked the Falcons.
Yes.
That's different. Ooh, okay. Eric's on the Falcons. Steelers at Panthers, where the Panthers are favored by 2.5. This line didn't make sense to me.
Well, it
Honestly.
potentially does if you don't if you're taking into consideration the fact that Kenny Pickett might not be able to play. He did practice, but if he can't play, should the Steelers be favored in this game? I would argue no.
Yes. Who's the Panthers quarterback?
I don't think
He's not better than Mitch Trubisky.
The Panthers have running backs who have actually been like running the ball well. Najee Harris has been kind of
Yeah, that's true.
The Panthers are also at home, and they're only getting 2.5. They're not getting the full 3, so that is indicating the Steelers are slightly better on a neutral field. I've
got Pittsburgh.
I'm okay with this line, but I'm especially okay with it because it makes it a little bit easier for me to take Pittsburgh in this game. Pittsburgh let one get away from them last week. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Kenny Pickett will be able to play this week. He did practice, at least in a limited fashion today. At least that I believe he practiced in a limited fashion today. I know that Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph were splitting reps. You still there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Barely holding on.
Well, my laptop just unfroze, so and we are still streaming as far as I can tell.
Okay.
So we're okay.
Shaq, we're on live still.
Yep.
Your camera is frozen. My camera hasn't been on the whole time.
Yeah.
Apparently, the feed dropped on YouTube, according to Eric.
Ooh. Well, let me see here. It's back for me.
Oh.
Yeah, mine is still playing, so I don't know what happened there, but it's back. Whatever happened.
Okay. Well, Eric, you'll have to let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, we back.
We back.
We back up.
All right. So I'm taking the Steelers. Evan, you're taking the Steelers.
Yes.
And it looks like Eric is taking the Panthers.
Okay.
And he wants to know, are the Panthers going to win the South?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning this game. So, I guess they could win the game and I could still get that pick right. But I don't think they're winning this game. I don't think they're winning the South. But, boy, does that division stink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Congrats
rough.
to whoever wins it by default. And, whoever doesn't make the playoffs out of the NFC. Sorry, I guess. Eagles at Bears. This is an easy one. Eagles, big. They had no problem stomping the Giants in New Jersey. The Bears have one good player, to be honest. So, that'll be no problem for the Eagles to roll again. Give me the Eagles. This game shouldn't even be on the red zone.
Yeah, I imagine that we'll see plenty of plays from this game on red zone, but they'll be pretty isolated. I don't think we're going to see a lot of consecutive plays on a drive on the red zone because this should be a blowout. I actually don't know. Fields is out for this game, right?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. So I'm going Eagles, and Eric is trying to get another bleep on the show, even though he's not here today. But he's going Eagles.
Yeah, maybe he's just yelling it that loud to be picked up. If he's even able to yell at this point.
That's true.
Chiefs at Texans. Texans are 14-point underdogs at home. I am picking the Texans because I am not betting actual money. The Chiefs, I mean, maybe they play with their food a little bit before they eat it, right? They should have rolled the Broncos. They were up big. I stopped paying attention to that game and then come back to see that, the Chiefs are only up by 6 suddenly, and it was like 24. So give me the Texans against my better judgment.
Against your better judgment is right. I'm taking the Chiefs this time. I think I'm going to do it again. I picked the Texans last week because the Cowboys are a little bit fraudulent. The Chiefs are not fraudulent. They are still very much in the running to be the best team in the AFC. And the Texans are garbage. 14 points. The Chiefs could win by 14 and we'll get a push. So I'm okay with that. But I think it's much more likely that the Chiefs win by 15 plus than that they win by 13 or less. So I'm taking the Chiefs.
Oh, okay. Eric's got Kansas City as well. Cowboys -4 at Jacksonville. I've got the Cowboys. The Jags, I mean, they just don't have the horses to hang with Dallas, right? Like that's really all it is.
So this is one where this feels like a trap game, not for the Cowboys and not for the Jaguars, but for people going up against Vegas. Like, the Cowboys just had a really awful showing against the Texans. The Jaguars had a fantastic performance this past week. So why would you think that the Jaguars at home would not be able to cover 4 points? Well, it's because the Jaguars are extremely inconsistent. I don't expect for Evan Ingram to ever do what he did last week again. In fact, I would say that if you were to give me the over-under on him getting half a catch this week, I would take the under.
Well, I mean, he had more production in his most recent game than he had in his whole career leading up to it.
Just about.
Supposed to believe that this guy is good.
Yeah, so I don't expect him to be very involved this week. I liked what I saw from Trevor Lawrence this past week, but we've seen some flashes at times this year. We have not seen him string games together. Cowboys defense is going to eat him up. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Alrighty, we're all on Dallas.
Yes.
Lions at Jets. Jets favored by a point. I am going Jets, Jets, because I just feel like the Lions are kind of inconsistent. Like they beat a fraudulent Vikings team, right? But the Jets defense is legit, and we know the Lions defense is terrible. So the Jets can beat the Lions by 2, right? That's all I got.
The Lions in their last, let's see, since those 2 really bad games where they lost 29-0 to the Patriots and then 24-6 to the Cowboys, the Lions have lost by 4 to the Dolphins, beat the Packers by 6, beat the Bears by a point, beat the Giants by 13 points, lost to the Bills by 3 points, beat the Jaguars by 26 points, and beaten the Vikings by 9 points. They have been consistently good but not great over their past several weeks. The wrong team is favored here. The Lions are going to win by a touchdown.
Oh, no. I vehemently, well, maybe not vehemently, but strongly disagree. Again, the Lions can't play defense. They can't do it.
The Jets can't play offense.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling the Lions this week. Outside, no, I don't think so. On to the 4 o'clock time slot. the Cardinals at the Broncos, where the Broncos are favored by 2.5. I've got Denver. Eric picked the Lions, by the way. I've got Denver in this game. Denver's at home. Russell Wilson might not play, so their offense might be a little bit good. And the Cardinals are without Kyler Murray. So the Cardinals' defense is bad. The Cardinals' offense is also going to be bad. There's nothing here. The Broncos, they might only be able to score 3 points in this game, but I don't know that we need to worry about the Cardinals scoring any. So that's enough.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Both offenses are going to be putrid in this game. The Broncos, because whether it's Russell Wilson or is it Brett Rippon who would start for them if he can't play, either way, their offense is going to be abysmal. Latavius Murray will be the only player who's capable of doing anything in that offense, and he's a career backup running back, essentially. On the other side, the Cardinals do at least have James Conner, who has been good. So, I like their offense a little bit better. And I imagine DeAndre Hopkins may, have a bit of a comeback game after having that fumble return for a touchdown this past week. But, that requires somebody to get him the ball, and that may be inconsistent with Colt McCoy. I'd rather go with where the defense is, and the Broncos easily have the better defense, plus they're at home. I'm taking the Broncos. Eric is taking the Cardinals.
Okay. I am a little bit confused. I think I skipped one of the games. Eric's got the Cardinals. Patriots at Raiders, where the Raiders are favored by a point. This is utterly absurd that the Raiders should be favored against anybody in the entire NFL. The Raiders are pathetic. Just absolutely indescribably terrible. Lost to the Rams. Who else did they lose to? They lost to Jeff Don't Call Me Big Noon Saturday in his debut. The Raiders are they're just awful. I'm so done with the Raiders. So done. Give me the Patriots getting an extra point. Are you kidding me? Patriots roll the Raiders. Eric also pointed out that Cardinals at Broncos is sarcastically a dream coaching matchup between Cliff Kingsbury, the worst coach in the history of sport in the universe, and Nat Hackett, PI. So
also the worst coach in sporting history in the universe. Okay. Evan, you took the Patriots. I'm taking the Raiders. They're at home. And it looks like Eric is also taking the Raiders. I know that was bad.
It was really bad. that was bad. You gotta hit that deeper level. It's the Raiders.
There you go.
Yeah. 425 Titans at Chargers. Let's see. I skipped one of these. But I do have Titans at Chargers here. I wrote Chargers. Okay, I wrote Chargers, and I'm sticking to it. But again, a bit against my better judgment. The Titans, their strength is running the ball, and we know the Chargers can't stop the run. Maybe they're stopping it a little better than they used to, but still not doing so great. But give me the Chargers, because I really didn't like what I saw out of Tennessee against Jacksonville at home.
I am with you. You say that the Titans' strength is running the ball, and
that's what
maybe that is the strongest part of their game. But if that is the strongest part of their game's weak, man. Like, everybody has been stopping the Titans' run game lately.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry can't seem to get any running room. I think he's averaging less than 2.5 yards per carry over his last 4 games.
Well, when they do get him some room, they throw him a screen pass, and then he
And then he
runs all the
fumbles
way
the
to the
ball.
end zone and fumbles at the goal line.
Yeah, and let somebody else vulture his touchdown. Believe me, I know. We notice. Yeah, the Chargers are the better team here. They've got Mike Williams healthy, who had a good game this past week, and as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be really good. He may not stay healthy for very long, but he'll make a couple of amazing plays before he goes down with an injury. So that will help give them a little bit of cushion in this game. Keenan Allen has been playing well. Austin Eckler is still there. It seems like the Chargers are able to spread the ball around more and do more of what Justin Herbert likes to do on offense. He doesn't have to just throw 15 screen passes to Austin Eckler. He might still do it because he enjoys doing it, but he doesn't have to. He's got other options, and that's good for the Chargers. I'm also taking the Chargers, and Eric really likes them this week. He's taking the Superchargers.
Isn't Joe Lombardi still the Chargers OC?
I believe so, but I don't remember for sure.
Okay. Well, he sucks. So, there's that.
Well, so does their coach, probably.
I mean, their head coach.
Yes.
I mean, he hired Joe Lombardi.
He did.
So, that wasn't great. Here's the game that I skipped on my little sheet here. Bengals -3.5 at Buccaneers. Eric's on the Bengals, and so am I.
And
the Buccaneers, they can't actually play. They can play offense or defense. Their quarterback, remember, is 45. The Bengals are going to complete this AFC North sweep over the Buccaneers.
Tom Brady just lost to a first-year quarterback for the first time in his career, and it was a Mr. Irrelevant, no less. The Bucs are washed. They might still make the playoffs just because of how putrid their division is, but they're going to be the easiest steamroll in NFL playoff history.
Ooh, okay. Didn't the Washington team lose 70-0 to the Bears in an NFL championship?
No, they did not. They lost 73-0.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. All right, so when the Bucs get to the playoffs by winning their division by default, looks like it's going to be Dallas as the 5 seed. So Dallas 74, Tampa Bay 0 at home. You heard it here first from Corey. Let's see, Eric's got the Bengals as well. Sunday Night Football is at FedEx Field for some reason this week. Whoa!
Let the entire country see that steaming pile of poop.
Yes. Giants at Commanders. Commanders favored by 4.5 points, and I'm on Washington this week. The Giants, not only were they frauds when they were winning games, their better players got hurt, except for Saquon, and now they're not winning games. So give me the Commanders, by a touchdown.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, Washington and New York tied at MetLife Stadium.
Not the greatest of all time.
Not the greatest of all time, but still a tie. And it was funny to see the reactions from the players and the coaches because they all just looked completely unfulfilled. Like, man, what is this? This is weird. Are we supposed to walk out? Like, do we shake people's hands? What do we do? The Commanders tying the Giants in MetLife would suggest that they should be a 6-point favorite at home. They're only getting 4.5. It's, maybe because home field advantage doesn't really exist for the Commanders at FedEx Field. Maybe they decide to give them half of home field advantage. So they flip the 3 points that the Giants would get for being in their place to make it neutral. And then they give Washington half of the home field advantage. Maybe that's what they were thinking here. I'm going to take the Giants. Ooh. I don't see how this game is going to be that different from the previous iteration 2 weeks ago.
Well, Washington is coming off of a bye.
Washington
And
is coming
before
off
that,
of a
they played
bye.
the Giants.
But I don't know. 4.5 is too much here. Give me the Giants.
The Eagles or the Giants are still hurting from the beatdown they took from the Eagles this past Sunday.
That's fine. It was a different game, and the Eagles are good. Eagles are really good.
The Commanders are not coming off of a beatdown. They're coming off of vacation. So, give me. I wrote Manders, double M and Z at the end. Alrighty. Monday Night Football. NFL doing all of America a service. Y'all can go to bed early on this one. Rams at Packers, where the Packers are favored by 7. Eric is still fading the Pack. Oh, Eric's also got Washington in the previous game.
Yep.
Eric is still fading the Pack. I am incapable of learning lessons, I guess. I've got the Packers laying the 7. California team going to New England. The Rams don't have their starting players. They don't. So, Cooper Kupp's not walking through that door. And give me the Packers at home. This is another one against my better judgment, but probably go to sleep and find out the Rams won this game too.
Yeah. So Eric keeps messing up in the group chat, in the document, like changing his color somehow. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers as well. I get that, we've been preaching all year, or at least the second half of the season, fade the Pack. I've been saying fade the Pack. But the Rams are awful. Mm-hmm. They're playing in Lambeau. Packers at night. Packers are coming off a bye.
Oh. Christian
Watson has been looking really, really, really good. Like, really, 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 really good. And I don't think the Rams are going to have a response for that. Baker Mayfield showed up and won the game for his team because of the absolute ineptitude of the Raiders' defensive coaching staff and the defensive players. The Packers' defense, I think, is a little bit overrated by some, but is definitely better than the Raiders' defense.
Like you in the preseason got me convinced that the Packers' defense was good, and has been garbage.
Maybe I was just trying to get you to take them in the draft so that I wouldn't have to.
What?
No, I wouldn't do
draft
that.
Him as a defense? Yeah.
Eric is taking the Rams. Yeah, he's fading the Pack. That's nice for him. I don't think it's going to happen.
Eric, are you sure you want to pick a team from Southern California to play at night outside in Green Bay, Wisconsin? This game is on Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Oh, okay. I was about to say they got off easy, this game being on Sunday instead of Monday, but no, it's on Monday. Monday in Green Bay, the high temperature, 16 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oof.
The low temperature is 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's a little nippy.
Yeah. So, again, the team from California going to play in that? No, sir. They're not going to be ready for that. 16 degrees. Winds 5 to 10 miles an hour.
What's the temperature out there on Sunday night?
Sunday night's low is 9. So
that's almost double. Almost double.
That's not how that works at all, Corey. It's not how that works in the slightest.
Eric is saying the Packers can't play in the cold either.
Okay. But we know the Rams can't.
I imagine he was saying it with exactly that cadence as well.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the games.
It is. All 16 of them. No more bye
Yes.
weeks.
All 16. And, for some reason, we started at 7 o'clock and it's 8:36 right now. So can't imagine why.
This can't be right.
Yeah.
We
Why
need to
it took
keep
less time this
talking
week.
for another hour and a half, Evan.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, So, that's all we got. Shout out to Eric. We hope he feels better. We know at least one person listened to this podcast this week. So there's that. Did anything happen? Any alerts or anything? See anything?
No alerts that I have seen.
Noah Syndergaard to the Dodgers was a couple hours ago. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that'll do it. If you've made it this far into this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. Smash the subscribe button. You can find this podcast wherever you're listening to it right now. In addition, it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts. If we are not on your podcatcher of choice, reach out to us and we'll try to rectify that. You can send us an email at thesportsballers@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at sportsballers18. Follow Corey on Twitter at Corey Puffett. Follow Eric on Twitter at Quagmire67. And follow me on Twitter at Evan_Ash13. You should go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are live on YouTube every week. Occasionally we'll do video. But we keep our faces for radio hidden most of the time. But we are live audio only right now. Do we have any YouTube comments? Anybody say anything?
No YouTube comments tonight.
Okay.
Eric said he was having trouble figuring it out, so I don't know what's going on there. Apparently, you have to create a.
You have to have a YouTube channel to comment. Right?
Yeah,
or to live chat,
which is kind of annoying. I didn't realize that was a thing.
If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel. You just have to turn it on or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people can figure that out.
It gives you the instructions. So.
Well, Eric said he couldn't figure it out. So.
That might be a bit telling, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to see. Alrighty. You have any shout-outs, Corey? I don't have any right now.
No, I do not actually have any shout-outs this week either.
Oh, I thought of one. Shout out to my friend Jesse Ginsburg. He's a Giants fan, and he and I attended that game up at the Meadowlands, and he had way more fun than me. But his birthday is on Sunday, and Giants on national TV in front of everybody. I am not predicting a Giants victory, but I guess for him, maybe he is.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and if Eric is back up and running next week, he'll have some shout-outs to add himself. So for Eric in his absence, and for Corey, who is here, I'm Evan. This has been the Sports Ballers Podcast. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.